No? And a good evening to you. It's Roy Stannard with the Hooks and Riffs live streamed music quiz. Goes out at the same time every Wednesday between 7 and 8. Great that you could join me. Don't forget that the quiz is in aid of the Off the Fence charity, incorporating Gateway Women's Centre, the Anti-Freeze Homeless Project, and the Schools Project, where we go into schools and we mentor, help one-to-one some of the school kids that perhaps a little bit isolated or ostracized or whatever. So we provide all three services. I'm going to say thank you to Thy Will Be Done for generously sponsoring this quiz, and you'll be pleased to hear, everybody, that we've got the Google donor or not-for-profit fund application in now, and that should be coming through any time now, and hopefully by next week. So all you pioneers and trialists who've been involved from the beginning, thank you so much. You've helped me streamline this mechanism and the platform that we're using, which is YouTube and a combination of all sorts of other stuff. Okay, well, let's get on with the quiz. Question 1. In which famous Liverpool club was Cilla Black discovered? And don't say Everton or even Liverpool FC. That would be very silly. So which famous Liverpool club was Cilla Black discovered? And there's a picture of her around about that time, maybe a couple of years afterwards. It's great fun finding the pictures for this quiz. Probably my favourite bit. When we come up with the questions, then I find some of the images to go with it. I'm just moving around a little bit so we can get a better picture. Question 2. David Bowie had a hit with China Doll in 1983. Who co-wrote it and which Bowie album was it on? There's a two-part question. There's a picture of the model who appeared. in the original video and what she looks like today. I did have a name written down, that's why I was looking down a moment ago, but I lost it, so I do apologise. Not that that really enhances the question in any way. So question 3, it's my weekly Spice Girls question. No idea, because I was never a fan. Which of the Spice Girls appeared as an X Factor judge in the UK and the USA? So which of the Spice Girls appeared as an X Factor judge both in the UK and the USA? Big clue, she's in the picture. Can't say I'm not generous. Off the fence, we're getting ready to move back into full operation outside as the social distancing restrictions lift. We expect a huge growth in demand for our services, so we're gearing up for that. Question 4. Which year did James Arthur win X Factor? That's 2 X Factor questions. I'll have to talk to my researcher. Oh, that's me. I'll have to talk to myself. So which year did James Arthur win X Factor? Bit of a up and down career so far. But just give me the year where he won. Well, the weather's like your end, but it's raining, not terribly hard this end. Question 5. Name Paul McCartney's second wife. What was unique about her? And hopefully I've given you a picture. It's not silly hairstyle. Paul McCartney's second wife, what was her name? What was unique about her? Funnily enough, I know somebody who was engaged to her immediately before she married Paul McCartney. It's a weird coincidence. And he was based in Sussex. A friend of the family. That's a story for another day. That's the first 5 questions. That's a cue for a little break for a few seconds. Collect your breath. Make sure you've got 5 answers written down. Okay, question 6. In which film did John Travolta sing and had a hit record? I thought you'd be amused by a picture of John Travolta minus his hair. I'm not sure if that's a question of hair loss or whether it's just to get himself ready for a part in a film. I'm not sure, but certainly John Travolta, you've never seen him before. And which film did he appear in, he sang in, and had a hit record as a result? So that seems like a lot of questions. It's just one question. Question 7. Who is married to Queen's guitar player Brian May? Easy, this one, I think. Make it even easier, I've put the 2 people concerned in the picture. I always thought they had very similar hairstyles, funnily enough. Anita Dobson probably hate saying that, or gave it away. That means everybody's got 1 point. But you have to be paying attention. There's a picture of the 2 of them. That's, not sure what that was. It might have been the Brits, or it might have been Film Awards, not sure. Question 8. Which single was held off the #1 spot in the UK in 1981 by Shut Up Your Face? And who recorded it? It's a bit tough, that one, I agree, but 2 halves to it. Which single was held off the #1 spot in the UK in 1981 by Shut Up Your Face? And who recorded Shut Up Your Face, not the other single? And There's a picture of the recording artist a couple of years ago. Didn't look anything like that back then. Well, that's part of the fun of this quiz. We like finding pictures which don't represent the artists as they are now, or were then. Question 9. Which comedian has released 3 albums called respectively Upon a Different Shore, A Year of Songs, and In a Winter Light? Don't sound like a barrel of laughs, do they? But comedian, 3 albums quite recently with those names: Upon a Different Shore, A Year of Songs, and In a Winter Light. Don't forget, if you're taking part in the quiz, do scribble something down on the chat stream just so I know you're there. We'd like to have a little bit of a banter as we go through. If you're here for the first time this week, welcome, and certainly let me know you're here. Question 10. What nationality was Tchaikovsky? Or Pete, as I knew him. What nationality was Tchaikovsky? Okay, nice and easy, that one. Picture of Pete Tchaikovsky. Amazing how they had colour photography back in those days, isn't it? And a little bit of photoshopping. Okay, that's 10 questions out of the way. Have a short break. And if you're over 16, considering what to do about if you do get taken into care or hospital, then thy will be done. I've got great ideas around power of attorney, which could save you a lot of money and preserve your house. Question 11. What nationality originally are Ricky Martin and Jennifer Lopez? What nationality originally are Ricky Martin and Jennifer Lopez? So they both come from the same country. May well be naturalized Americans now, but they both come from the same place. Okay, question 12. Which female singer has the record for the most #1 albums? Which female singer has the record for the most #1 albums? That presumably makes her the richest female pop star in the world. I'm going to give you a little clue on that. Not British, which eliminates 1 or 2 people. Okay, question 13. You'll have to forgive my pronunciation here, but Georgios Kyriakos Panayiotou, sure I got that wrong, Panayiotou, which well-known singer was born with this name? There's a clue in the picture, but it isn't the singer. So Georgios Kyriakos Panayiotou, which well-known singer was born with this name? Or became very famous with a different name? Question 14, another name question. Stephen Dimitri Georgiou is the real name of which well-known singer-songwriter? As I said earlier, Off the Fence has 3 distinct streams of help for vulnerable people. Homeless project called Anti-Freeze, a women's project, safe place for women to go to, and meet each other and share experiences called Gateway, and a schools project with all of whom have got separate teams, and then there's a core office team that raises the money and spends the money on their behalf. Question 15. What is the last question's singer's name now? So in other words, the singer in question 14 has had 3 names in his career. What is his current name? There's a nice picture of him pretty much looking as he does now. Picture research is a great fun part of this, finding out what people look like now. Okay, quick break, 15 questions gone. And if you don't want your property to be snaffled by the government, if you do have to go into care and need help, then Thy Will Be Done, Goring Road Wording can help you with that by putting it into trust. Question 16. What did Ellie Goulding famously do on her wedding page? Her wedding day, sorry. There's a little clue there. Getting phone calls in the middle of the quiz. I'm not sure what that means. So, question 16. What did Ellie Goulding famously do on her wedding day? And there's a little bit of a clue there. Question 17. Which female singer went toe-to-toe in the chart with Sophie Ellis-Bextor in the charts in 2001? Too many charts in that question, I do apologise. I'll fire the question master. Oh, that's me as well. So, which female singer went toe-to-toe with Sophie Ellis-Bextor in the charts in 2001? Seems a long time ago now. So, question 17. Name the female singer that competed with Ellis-Bextor for the #1 spot. Okay, question 18. What is US singer Kelly Clarkson famous for? And anybody who puts singing will get banished from the quiz forever. That's not a trick question. Yes, she's a singer. What is she famous for? And it has to do with the start of her career. Okay, question 19. Who wrote Every Time You Go Away, which was a successful hit for Paul Young? There's a picture of him, slightly older than he was when he wrote the song. Who wrote Every Time You Go Away for Paul Young? He didn't write it for Paul Young, he recorded it himself with his particular music outfit, and then Paul Young covered it and had a very big hit with it. Question 20. Which non-New York band had a hit with Manhattan Skyline? So not a New York-based band, not even American, but had a hit with Manhattan Skyline. And in a very literal fashion, I put a picture of the Manhattan Skyline on the screen. It doesn't help you in any way whatsoever. A nice message from Howard. In fact, had a phone call from Roseanne, and Howard's just texted, "You don't ring somebody in the middle of a quiz." You can, I suppose. Makes the whole thing look more live. Okay, we've got 20 questions out of the way. And question 21, which group had hits in the 80s with Harvest for the World and Ideal World? And just to give you a little helping hand, there's a picture of them. Not sure when that was taken, probably a little after those hits. They're looking quite mature, they're moody, standing on the beach at Southend by the look of it. I say that because it's nearly all stones, could only be Southend. Or Brighton, I suppose. So which group had hits in the 80s with Harvest for the World and Ideal World? Obviously had to have world in the title if they were going to have hits. Question 22. Which band had UK top 10 singles with Jump and Why Can't This Be Love? Look at those hairstyles. In fact, I'm gradually turning into an 80s rock star in lockdown. Can't get a haircut for love or money. So I'm going to look like these guys if things go on the way they are. But no. All I need now is a pair of loon pants and a t-shirt. I can lope along the road looking like a hippie with a bandana or something like that. I'm getting carried away. Question 23. I like this one. What was Cliff Richard's first #1 single? And some wit has designed what his album would look like if he released it now. So it's pretty harsh, actually. Remind me never to have two pictures of myself side by side when I was young, when I was old. But interesting. So what was Cliff Richard's first #1 single? If you're watching this and you haven't done it before, then let me know. Put something on the chat stream to the right of your screen. Question 24. Okay, I'm really making these easy this week. Who is the lead singer with the pop group Madness? Who is the lead singer with the pop group Madness? Now, just to be irritating, I've gone back about 50 years, possibly longer, and found a school picture. That's not how he looked in Madness, not most of the time anyway. Don't forget, this quiz is sponsored by Thy Will Be Done, and they can help you in all sorts of ways by writing wills for very low cost, under £20 I think on a good day, and they can help you with preserving your property, your finances, by looking at trusts for you, financial planning. Okay, 25 is possibly the most horrendous picture I could find, but name the Pogues' lead singer. Charming picture. He's been signed up by the dental industry to promote toothpaste, I think, since then. And since then he has actually acquired a new set of teeth. I'm not sure if they're all in one set or whether he bought them one by one. I'm sure he's sponsored by somebody. The Pogues' lead singer, what's his name? That's the end of the first half. This is the point where I put my glasses on and give you the answers. So make sure you get your 25 questions and answers, and I'll run through them so we can get leaders and winners for the first half. #1, in which famous Liverpool club was Cilla Black discovered? The Cavern, it wasn't Everton. David Bowie had a hit with China Doll in 1983. Who wrote it and which Bowie album was it on? Iggy Pop and David Bowie wrote it, and it was on Iggy Pop's album The Idiot 1977, but the correct answer is Bowie's album Let's Dance. 3, which of the Spice Girls appeared as an X Factor judge in the UK? and the USA. It was Mel B. My weekly Spice Girls question. I must see somebody about that. Number 4, which year did James Arthur win X Factor? 2012. Name Paul McCartney's second wife and what was unique about her. Heather Mills, and she had a prosthetic leg, having lost one in a collision with a police motorbike. Number 6, in which film did John Travolta sing and had a hit record? It was Grease. Who's married to Queen's Brian May? Anita Dobson. Same hairstyle. That was a giveaway, wasn't it? Number 8, which single was held off the number 1 spot in the UK in 1981 by Shut Up Your Face? Who recorded it? It was Ultravox's Vienna and Joe Dolce. Do you remember him? Which comedian released 3 albums called Upon a Different Shore, A Year of Songs, In a Winter Light, all since 2015? It was, or it is, Alexander Armstrong. 10. What nationality was Pete Tchaikovsky? Russian. That's my Russian question for this week. 11. What original nationality are Ricky Martin and Jennifer Lopez? Puerto Rican. Nationalized American now, I think, but Puerto Rico originally. 12. Which female singer has the record for the most number 1 albums? It's Madonna. It's pretty easy when you think about it. 13. Georgios Kyriakos Panayiotou. Which well-known singer was born with this name? George Michael, of course. And Andrew Ridgeley, picture in the screen. Stephen Dimitri Georgia. Which singer had this as his real name? Cat Stevens. And 15. What is this singer's name now? Yusuf Islam. So 3 stages of names. Yusuf Islam. 16. What did Ellie Goulding famously do on her wedding day? Mind boggles, but in fact what she did was changed her dress several times. Quite famous for it. That was a Natasha question, by the way. Which female singer went toe-to-toe in the chart with Sophie Ellis-Bextor in 2001? It's Victoria Beckham and True Steppers featuring Dame Bowers. And Out of Your Mind was the song. 18. What is US singer Kelly Clarkson famous for? Winner of the American X Factor. 19. Who wrote Every Time You Go Away, which was a successful hit for Paul Young? It was Daryl Hall of Hall & Oates. 20. Which Norwegian band had a hit with Manhattan Skyline? Aha. They seem to have appeared in the quiz a few times. I must know their agent or something. 21. Which group had hits in the 80s with Harvest for the World and Ideal World? The Christians. 22. Which band had a UK top 10 single with Jump and another one with Why Can't This Be Love? And it was Van Halen. Hello to Monica. I'll say a longer hello in a moment. 23. What was Cliff Richard's first number 1 single? Living Doll. How many of you remember that? I do, sadly. 24. Who is the lead singer with the pop group Madness? I don't know his real name, but for argument's sake, let's just call him Suggs and be done with it. Much easier. 25. Name the Pogues' lead singer. The one with the teeth is Shane MacGowan. Well, let's see how many you got. We've got to the end of the interval. Toss up your scores. If you want to admit to what you've got so far, do put it up there on the chat stream. And Monica's apologising for being late. You make me feel like a school teacher taking the register. So, Jen, you've joined us as well, just in time for the second half by the look of it. Question 26. Second half, we start with which song was a hit for both Freddie Mercury and the Platters? And just to make it really simple, I've put a picture of Freddie Mercury and the Platters. I don't think they ever appeared on the same stage, by the way. That would have been a mind-blowing experience. So Freddie Mercury and the Platters, which song did they both have a hit with? Okay, the time is just coming up to 7:30. I do this every week just to prove that I am live and I'm not I haven't been spirited down from the ether. Question 27. What have Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, Jim Morrison and Kurt Cobain got in common? If you can name the other person in that picture, I'll give you a bonus point. So what have these four musicians got in common? It isn't that they all names start with J. That would be too easy. And who is the fifth musician in the picture that shares the same fate, if you like? Question 28. In rock music, Marvin Lee Aday is better known by a high school nickname. What is it? There's a picture of him as a schoolboy. No, I don't think it was a high school picture. A bit earlier than that. And there is a few little clues in the face. When you know who it is, you probably already do. When you know who it is, you go, oh yeah, I remember. And yeah, there is a similarity. Some people don't look anything like they did when they were a kid. I certainly don't. Which is just as well, I suppose. So, hi to everybody who's taking part. Question 29. No Angel is the debut album by which female singer? There's a picture of her. I've deliberately chose one that probably doesn't much look like she does now. But that's all part of the quiz, all part of the fun. Putting the fun into fundraising, that's what we're doing, or trying. And I've got to say thank you again to Thy Will Be Done for supporting this. On a monthly basis. It's nice to have it sponsored and gives me an excuse to sit in my lounge and ask silly questions for an hour every week. Must be very annoying for people out there. So thank you for getting involved, and we'll have another chat in a moment. Question 30. Gwen Stefani is the lead singer with which band? Which band is Gwen Stefani the lead singer? There's a picture of her. There's two pictures of her, actually. And interestingly, they are about 20 years different in terms of age, those two pictures. Maybe longer, maybe 25, which is pretty surprising, actually. I don't know about you, but pictures of me 25 years apart don't look anything as near as good as that. It actually says, doesn't it? It's only 10 years, I do apologise. Okay, little break. Tot up your scores, first 5. And don't forget, if you do want to hang on to your home, protect your home, as the government does have the right to take it away if you need to pay for care, you can place it into a trust, and quite legally. And I Will Be Done will help you with that. Question 31. Who released albums called Slow Hand, Behind the Sun, and August? And that is a genuine picture of the artist concerned. I deliberately try to find ones that aren't immediately obvious. So 3 albums, Slow Hand, Behind the Sun, and August. Who is the artist responsible for all of those? Question 32. In which musical movie did Richard Gere have a lead singing role? That was a question my wife Natasha came up with. Came up with about 12 this week, actually. I wonder if you can spot which ones they were. In which musical movie did Richard Gere have a lead singing role? I know, you didn't know he could sing, did you? Well, he started, I think, as a singer. Started on stage and has been in a number of musicals, but particular film, which was a big hit, and he had a big singing part in it. What was the movie called? Question 33. Which brothers had a #1 hit in May 1958 with All I Have to Do Is Dream? So there's a picture of them. Sort of in between times, not as they looked as they got older, not as they were in the very beginning of their career, but maybe in between picture. And they were less well known, possibly. Which brothers had a #1 hit May 1958 with All I Have to Do Is Dream? So how are you doing so far? I want the winner to have over 40 this week. I'm probably not going to get that. Question 34. What Beatles song was adapted to give the band Candy Flip a hit in 1990? Remember, that as a picture of them. I don't think that's going to be a huge amount of help, but that's Candy Flip in 1990. Which Beatles song did they cover? Had quite a big hit with it. I completely forgotten about that until I did a bit of research. I think that was the second Summer of Love or something like that. Everybody put a few flowers in the picture. Question 35. Who sang for both the Jam and the Style Council? And there is the album sleeve of one of the most obscure Style Council albums that was ever released. I think it sold about 10. Somebody's obviously got a vinyl copy of it there and is proud of it. And I think it's called Come to Milton Keynes, I believe it is. And that's not a great title for an album, is it? Come to Milton Keynes. It's a bit like Come to Southend, isn't it, really? In fact, Southend's got a beach, and Milton Keynes certainly hasn't. Okay, so got another short break. Just a reminder of our sponsors for tonight. We're all very excited at Off the Fence at the moment because we're just gearing ourselves up to get back into action again in terms of street-based work and helping in a practical sense. We've been doing mostly online and virtual and telephone work. Question 36. Deacon Blue got their name from a song by which other band? Funnily enough, that other band got their name from a book, or a writer, a character in a book. Deacon Blue got their name from a song by which other band? A little bit tough, that one. We're going to have one or two tough ones in there. Question 37. Röyksopp, who released their debut album Melody AM in 2002, are from which European country? Röyksopp, who released the debut album Melody AM in 2002, are from which European country? Don't know how good your knowledge of European music is. Probably not great, but you may think I've got an obsession with this country. There's a little bit of a clue. Right, question 38. Which rock star took the photo which features on the front cover of Iggy Pop's album, The Idiot? Now, if you were paying close attention in the first half, you probably know the answer to this. It's the second time that Iggy Pop has been mentioned in the quiz so far today. Nowadays, of course, he makes a living. Apart from doing music, he also does a regular show, or has done, on Radio 2. And he's got a great speaking voice. Sounds really good on the radio. Very low, husky voice. I'm sure he's probably got lots of gigs as a voiceover artist now as well. Question 39. Kelly Rowland, Michelle Williams and Beyonce Knowles made up which band? Girl band. What was their name? Kelly Rowland, Michelle Williams and Beyonce. Seems a long time ago. Hoping the music's not too loud tonight. As you know, I can only hear it very, very low down in the mix. If it is too loud, then do let me know. Okay, question 40, a well-known face. Slightly intimidating. What is Johnny Rotten's real name? It looks like somebody's just revealed it. It's such a typical face, really. It's like he's been desperately offended by somebody. But people don't realise it looks like that all the time. I'll give you another bonus half point if you can tell me his country of origin if you go back a generation. I think it's his father. So which country? Okay, another short break. We're nearly there. So if you're over 60 and considering a power of attorney to cover you for health and welfare, then I will be done. Goring Road in Worthing can give you a lot of help with that. Very good company. Just go and have a chat with. Question 41. Selena Gomez is dating another famous young pop star. Who is that? So you can tell the questions that Natasha has come up with. We tend to follow a certain theme. Selena Gomez is dating another famous young pop star. Who is it? Looks like a sort of doll in this picture. It's almost sort of surreal, isn't it? Caught my eye, so I thought I'd put that one in. Question 42. In music, which superstar was jailed in Tokyo in 1980 for possessing drugs? Is that a moment when I say don't do this at home? It's not real television, is it? So in music, which superstar was jailed in Tokyo in 1980 for drugs possession? So the significance of the picture on this, I think it's an album cover. A very obscure one. Well, if you know your album covers, you'll get this straight away. Okay, question 43. Which jazz musician had the nickname Bird? There is a picture. There's one on the right, in case you don't know. So which jazz musician had the nickname Bird? I do apologise to anybody who has had Zoom meetings with you this week, and I must only appear in small rectangles in your life, which is a bit bizarre. But I do exist in reality. Question 44. Which Brighton-based, world-renowned jazz singer has an OBE? Okay, a personal connection to this one. I actually spoke to her yesterday. Which Brighton-based, world-renowned jazz singer has an OBE? We're talking to her about becoming a patron of the charity. So there she is. What's her name? Give you a clue. Her husband runs Rope Tackle, the Rope Tackle venue in Shoreham. Question 45. Which Worthing band have had 2 #1 albums? They never admit to coming from Worthing, by the way. They always say they come from Brighton. But I know better. And I know the one on the left. I've known him since he was 8 years old. And we've done a radio show with him where he was a guest on the evening before his first album, or their first album, was released. So, local band, very local. 2 #1 albums in the last 4 years. Who are they? Monica, you've got one. Oh, this is good. We'll find out how many you got all together in a minute. So I think we're down to the last 5 now. We're up to 7:45, so we're bang on time. My timekeeping is improving. These are obviously local questions. Which world-famous song did local jazz musician Herbie Flowers play bass on? There's a picture of him playing a double bass. And a little bit of a clue. It was double bass that he played on this famous song. And he famously was paid £30 as a session fee, and it went on to become a worldwide hit, made fortune for everybody except him. And you could argue that his bass line on the track actually made the track. It was probably the most distinctive feature of the track. So 30 quid wasn't a good deal, really. Question 47. Which famous 70s commercial did Elvis Costello's father appear in? Okay, it's a bit obscure, I admit, but it's just such a good question, had to put it in. Which famous 70s commercial did Elvis Costello's father appear in? I'll give you a little bit of a clue. It's probably not a huge clue, but his father was called Ross McManus. Ross McManus. That might help you. It was a 70s commercial, and a little bit of a clue. He ran downstairs in the commercial, and he did sing it. Question 48. How many symphonies did Beethoven write? All the classical composers all look very serious, don't they? Nowadays, if pop stars look like that in their publicity images, they wouldn't get very far. You know, lighten up, please. Tchaikovsky and Beethoven in the same quiz. That's probably why they're looking miserable. Great tie, though. Must get a tie like that. Not that I wear ties very well. So the quiz is sponsored by Thy Will Be Done. Thank you to them for doing that. Question 49. Okay, this is very easy. Steinway and Bosendorfer, are all famous for making which musical instruments? We even helpfully put the logos on there. So if you're a visual person and can't remember things, that might prompt your memory. Steinway and Bosendorfer are all famous for making which musical instruments? Okay, final question. Second Ellie Goulding question this week. Not sure why. Must have had contact with her agent. Ellie Goulding is English, Scottish, or Welsh? A couple of national type questions, nationality questions in this week. On the Jules Holland show last weekend. Very interesting, very intelligent young singer-songwriter. But there is some confusion about her nationality. English, Scottish, or Welsh. Okay, a couple of minutes to summon your thoughts, get your question sheets in order. And if you're in teams at home, you can always swap them. But I do rely on your honesty. We have a very honest audience, I think, for this quiz. To find the right pair of glasses. Ah, that's better. I've got one for near distance, middle distance, and a bit further away, which is fine until I realise without glasses I can't tell which pair of glasses I should be putting on, which is a bit weird. Okay, number 26. I'm going to go through the answers, 26 to 50. Which song was a hit for both Freddie Mercury and the Platters? Did you get that? It was The Great Pretender. 27. What have Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, Jim Morrison and Kurt Cobain got in common? They all died aged 27. And I'll give you the name of the Rolling Stones musician in a moment. See how many people got that. Right, in 28, in rock music, Marvin Lee Aday is better known by a high school nickname. What is it? It was a fairly chunky little boy. So, yes, it was Meatloaf. In rock music, 29. No Angel is the debut album by which female singer? And the answer is Dido. 30. Gwen Stefani is the lead singer with which band? And it was No Doubt. Who released albums called August, Behind the Sun and Slow Hand? Well, of course, it was Eric Clapton. That wasn't too hard, was it? So, which musical, this is number 32, in which musical movie did Richard Gere have a lead singing role? I'm sure you got this one. Chicago, of course. Getting messages in on my phone at the moment. So, excuse me while I look. Okay, 33. Which brothers had a number one hit in May 1958 with All I Have to Do Is Dream? And it was, of course, the Everly Brothers. Okay, 34. What Beatles song was adapted to give the band Candy Flip a hit in 1990? It was Strawberry Fields Forever. Who sang for both the Jam and the Style Council? Weller, of course. I'll just reply to this text. Beg your pardon. Okay. Focus on the job in hand. 36. Deacon Blue got their name from a song by which other band? It was Steely Dan. And Steely Dan was a reference to a rather unpleasant object in a book, which I won't go into here. 37. Röyksopp, who released their debut album Melody AM in 2002, are from which European country? It is Norway. Sounds like Eurovision Song Contest now, doesn't it? Norway. Nil point. And yes, I'm obsessed with Norway after lots of questions about AHA as well. Okay, the next question is 38. Which rock star took the photo which features on the front cover of Iggy Pop's album The Idiot? It was David Bowie, of course. 39. Kelly Rowland, Michelle Williams and Beyonce Knowles make up which band, or did? Destiny's Child. What is Johnny Rotten's real name? This is 40. John Lydon, and Irish background. 41. Selena Gomez is dating another famous young pop star, Justin Bieber. 42. Which superstar was jailed in Tokyo in 1980 for drugs possession? Second appearance in the quiz tonight for Paul McCartney. 43. Which jazz musician had the nickname Bird? Charlie Parker. Which Brighton-based world-renowned jazz singer has an OBE? Claire Martin. 45. Which Worthing band have had 2 #1 albums? Royal Blood. Worthing and Rustington, to be absolutely accurate. 46. Which world-famous song did local jazz musician Herbie Flowers play bass on? It was Lou Reed's Walk on the Wild Side, and he played the bass part. 47. Which famous 70s commercial did Elvis Costello's father appear in? Ross McManus appeared in R. White's Secret Lemonade Drinker. No, you didn't know that, did you? That's expanded your knowledge nicely tonight. 48. How many symphonies did Beethoven write? It was 9. And 49. Steinway and Bosendorfer are all famous for making what instruments? Pianos. I'm embarrassed by that. It was so easy. 50. Ellie Goulding is English, Scottish or Welsh. Now, a lot of people think she's Welsh, but she was born in Hereford on the Welsh border, so she's in fact English. Okay, so we've got to the end of the music. That means that time is running out, so all I need now is your scores. If you can tell me how many out of 50 you managed to get this week. I've got a feeling there's a low threshold this week, so you're going to stand a very good chance, I think. So if you can just put your scores up on the chat stream, then I will read out the winner, and you can take the glory away with you. There's nothing else to take away, sadly. Okay, tot up. How many out of 50? The record so far is 41 out of 50. 9 out of 25 for Monica. I think you just did the second half. That's creditable. That's not bad at all. So 18 out of 50, that would double up to. But first half, you're going to argue, was much easier than the second half. I'm sure it was. So, anyone else got any scores out there, or are we keeping quiet about it? Okay, well, in the absence of anybody owning up to a score, we've got Monica as this week's winner. Monica, make the most of that. That's a red letter day. So thank you. And it's goodbye from me for the moment. I'll be back same time next week with another barrel of unusual, quirky questions, some of which have come out of the deeper recesses of my brain and some from my wife, Natasha's. Thank you to her for her collaboration this week, and thank you, Thy Will Be Done, for sponsoring this silliness, and I'll see you all next week. Bye for now. Thank you for taking part.
You done?